Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? So, as all of you know that today we are going to learn the artificial intelligence, one of the important topic that is the machine learning, how exactly machines getting trained with the help of AI, what is the exactly data science, what exactly people are doing in the data science, what is the main features of the machine learning, what is the future opportunities are there in machine learning, data science, deep learning, what is the difference between the machine learning and artificial intelligence and deep learning. So all the interesting topics we are going to cover today. So we'll wait for 1 more minute and then we'll start. Okay, let's start with the today's session. Most of the people have joined. So let me share my screen. So guys, if you have any question, anything, you can put in the chat message. So I can answer to your query. Also, if you want, you can directly unmute yourself and you can talk. So let's start with a brief intro about myself. I hope some of you may know about me previously. If not, then let's see that this side Saurav here, having 10 plus years of experience in the IT industry, and I have worked for the different AI-related products. Either it is chatbot, either it is text-on detection, speech-to-text conversion, brand analysis, reading the details on the passport through image processing, digital marketing automation, so multiple AI related specifically, I have worked in the last, we can say the 10 years, plus other experience I was there in the support automation and other things. So this is the brief idea about myself and the guys, if you know that tone detection is one of the important concepts are going on throughout the market. If you have seen any company, either it is Amazon, either it is Flipkart, either it is any e-commerce company or any other third-party company who has their products or services, text tone detection is one of the important part for them because whatever the content they are generating, either it is getting generated on the different channels like Twitter, Facebook, messaging, or any other channel, and if you get that data, processing that data is very important, very crucial. It is not possible by sitting one person will just go through the Twitter of the hundred of products and find exactly what the people are talking, what the things are going on the ground level in the market. So at that time, these companies are putting the data science, machine learning, deep learning to fetch that data, process that data, and find the meaningful insights from that data. So all that important information which is getting generated in the different channels, it is need to be very processed properly. So which will find the exactly mood of the customer. Either they are happy, they are not happy, they are escalating, they are frustrated, they have some optimistic ideas on that, what exactly going on. So all these things are it is just not the sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis is a very basic concepts, but it is beyond the sentiment analysis where we are finding the different tones. The tone can be the hundred of tones will be there. The tone can be the nervous tone is there. You are finding the nervous tone. You are finding the in that nervous tone there are the different types of tones. So finding these tones is very important part, and that exactly we are doing here in this one. Now again we have the speech to text conversion, another project, and the brand analysis. So these are the different projects which we have. So let's start with the today's agenda and some brief idea exactly what we are going to cover. So we'll see the deep learning, we'll see the machine learning, actually exactly what machine learning is doing previously, means before, means programming language, what exactly people was doing without machine learning. Rule based mechanism was there. So what exactly that rule based mechanism and how rule based mechanism are working, and how exactly it is different from the current machine learning algorithm. So traditional machine learning algorithm and artificial neural network, which had changed the whole world. In the today's world, whatever the magic we are watching, either it is in the healthcare, either it is in the IT industry, either it is in any industry, so whole magic has taken this by artificial neural network. So one of the interesting and important concept we are going to see today, and I hope, I'm guaranteed that today you will understand machine learning, you will understand the neural network, you will understand the deep learning, exactly what exactly it is and how it works. So let's see the basic fundamentals behind the data science exactly, and what exactly the data scientists do. So the role of the data scientist is, there are the four basic steps. One is the doing the some descriptive analysis. second is doing some predictive analysis, and there is one diagnostics in between that, and fourth is the prescriptive analytics. So what exactly we do in the data science in the as a data scientist? So I'm giving one brief idea. After that, we'll go in the basics of the machine learning and all these things. But before that, I hope it will help you to give some brief idea about the data scientist, the role of the data scientist, and exactly what exactly their daily activities they are doing. So suppose there is one hospital, and in that hospital, suddenly the number of patient, the count of the patient has got increased. Okay, so this thing has happened now. Means just last in 15 days, 20 days, something has happened. Why don't know? Means that doctor don't know, anyone don't know that something has happened. Just the count of the patients. Generally, it was coming like 30, 20, 35 people, and suddenly 100, 200, 250 people started to come. So something has happened. So the role of the data scientist is to find that yes, something is happening there. So some doing some study of the data, and on the basis of that, finding that something has gone wrong in background, or something is changing. Because of that, these things are happening, and count of the patients in the hospital is increasing. Now I'm giving you a very simple example. Now you feel that this is a very basic thing, nothing is there complex. But just imagine that if you have the hundred of products, and you are working as a product manager, or you are working as a senior manager in the company, and you want to find that what exactly is happening on the ground level. Suddenly some of the products costing is going down, or some of the products requirement or market demand is going down, up and down is happening. So it becomes very complex at that time to understand what exactly is happening on that ground level. So every time it will not be possible to everyone to understand the by watching, just taking some data, something is happening. So you will require the team of the hundred of people who will analyze the data, who will go through on the ground level and check that what is happening. Because of that, these prices are going up and down, right? So these things are the fundamental thing where something is getting changed, and it's the role of your data scientist to analyze these things and find that something is going wrong, something is happening, and you need to take the proper precautions. Now, in the hospital case, that count has increased. Now, what you will do? The predictive, you need to do that. Data scientist need to do some predictive. There's some prediction that what exactly has happened. Create some model, machine learning, data science models that will tell that yes, something corona's new cases are coming, or some new version of that corona has came in the city. Because of that, these cases has started to come. If the data scientist will not do this analysis, whole system will fail. And what we are watching right now, that is the result of this one. Means if some cities are getting failed to control these systems, so something somewhere data scientist is going wrong. That data scientist is not able to, means even they are predicting, but the precautions what we are taking, they are not going that much strong. Even we know that in the month of end of the April, there will be lots of cases, but our miss maybe government has taken some actions, need to be taken some actions. They go somewhere wrong, something has happened. So but data scientists did their job very well. They was told very early phase that there is going to be very hike in the month of April, and there is more hike in the month of next month, that is the May, right? So but now government is taking that action. So that role of data scientist, you can imagine how much important it is. If he goes wrong, whole system can break. This is the one example I have given. If you go to the industry, in each and every industry, data scientist is required. Either it is the product strategy planning, either it is the products of capitalization, either it is the products deciding the cost and market valuation and all these things. So there are the n number of factors we need to decide. Even Amazon is giving some prediction. That means if one customer is coming to the site after purchasing one product, that what another product that customer can purchase, so giving that suggestion. So that is also very important. If Amazon will give the incorrect results and Flipkart give the correct results, more people will purchase the items from the Flipkart. So you can understand that how much important that decision of the data scientist is in that scenario, to give the correct predictions. So it should not go wrong. And there are the thousands of lakhs of products are there, thousands of crores of customers are there, and data scientists need to understand exactly what product people are purchasing and apply the proper algorithms, do the analysis. So once if you come back to the corona's cases and that hospital, so once you find that there is something has happened in the history, by using that historical data, you do some apply some machine learning models, data science models, that with the help of these models we will do some prediction that these things have happened. and you find the diagnosis, you do some diagnosis that why it happened. So that also we do. That data scientist's role it is to find that what exactly happened, and giving some prescriptive, that suggestions, actions, what actions need to be taken. So that scientist role is to tell that, means what is our current situation, how many beds we have, how many ICUs we have, how many hospitals, nurses, patients, or doctors we have, what we need to do. So giving that proper prescriptive analysis very important by the data scientist. So this is all the role of the data scientist. CM will not do that things, that deputy CM will not do these things, that any manager of any company will not do this. This is the role of data scientist, who is sitting in the different scientific departments who are doing these things, right? So this is one role of the data scientist. I told that he has to give very correct means precautions, that what need to be taken. If he gives the incorrect precautions, if he tell you something give incorrectly, the whole system will collapse again. So you can just imagine the role of the data scientist is very crucial, very important, and because of that, there is huge demand in the market for the data scientist. And it is not only in one domain. If you go to the any domain, it is required. Now let's see what exactly data scientist means requires. Yes, if you want to become the data scientist, so the if you go to the technical logical part of you, so in the technology point, you will require something programming language need to be understandable, like either it is the Python, either it is C, C++, Java, R. There are a number of languages, but mostly companies are preferring the Python, because the number of libraries available in the Python is very huge. The support provided by Python is very good. The number of people working in the Python, the community of the Python is very high. If you ask any question on the for Python, you will get the instant reply, you will get the lots of answers on the questions, and everything you are getting in the Python. Means there is nothing is which you cannot do in the Python. You can do each and everything in Python. Because of that, people are preferring only Python language as a primary language for the data science. Again, we have the data processing tools like NumPy, Pandas. So these tools need to be required to understand when you are working as a. So that is the internal part of the data science. We will not go in the depth of that NumPy, Pandas, and all these things. So application libraries and libraries. So basically, uh, the data scientists need to train some models, you need to build some models. So what is that model, what is that machine learning models, that we'll see in the upcoming our slides. We will go in the depth of the machine learning. We'll see exactly what exactly the data is, how the data works, how the data scientists collect that data, from where they get the data. So we'll see all these things. Then once they build the data and the tools, then how the prediction and how that model get executed and deployed and extracted the important information. So we'll go in the depth of one by one. So the in the day-to-day activity of the data scientist, the first thing is that acquiring the data. So from where the data scientist acquires the data, that is the million-dollar question. Everyone in each industry requires the data. Without data, data scientist has no any value. Data scientist cannot do anything if he don't have the data. Either he is working on the sentiment analysis, either he is working on the predicting the object in the images, either he is working on the Google automatic car. In any of the sample, any of the problem statement, data is the important. And what is the data, how much data he want? It's not like the 10 records or 100 records or the 1000 records. If I get the positive negative records of 1000 and I will do the sentiment analysis, no, I will not get the accuracy when I can do that. I will just do something analysis, or I will put some models and I will give the 20%, 30%, 50% of accuracy. If you want the good accurate model, you will require lakhs of records. You will require crores of data. And from where you will get the data? From where you will get the data? Either your client will give you the data, or your organization has historical data. As we told that if you see the Amazon system or any other systems, they are collecting in the last. Why data scientist role has given that much importance nowadays? Because till 2010 or before that, the number of data which was getting generated was not that much high. The data was there, but it was not captured, it was not in the proper structured format, it was stored anywhere in any format. It was very difficult to handle, it was very difficult to gather at one location. But in the last 10 years, systems have changed. People and companies understood the importance of the data, and they are starting they have started to store the data in the proper localized center location, where they can manage it, they can use it, they can do some analysis on that. They have understood the importance of the data. Whole industry knows that if I have the good data, then I will be the master in this industry. Any industry, any industry, if you just imagine, even it is not related to IT, it is not related to technology, still their data is very important because they are sharing that data to the technology people, and these technology people are taking the decision on the basis of that. If you go even any compressor company, and that compressor company is taking some of the decisions on the basis of the what are the inputs that machines is getting, but by using that data they are automating that things. What were the decisions they are taking manually previously, now they are taking that decisions automatically because they knows the data what has happened in the previous historical data, historical background. So in all the industry, this data is important, and these companies are storing nowadays all this data and processing it. So collecting the data, either your client will share, or you will have your organization historical data, or you need to generate that data. Now you will think that how I will generate that data, but it's a fact that there are the lots of scientists who is generating the data, means creating that data. Even that data is not present, they are creating that data, they are writing manual data. But there are the few companies are there. Most of the companies will get the data, means 90% of the companies will have the data. 10% of the companies who want to work on that but don't have the data, but they will create the data. So they are creating the data manually as well. So but 90% of cases you will get the data. Now asking the right question is very important by the data scientist, that what exactly is the data, how exactly it has came, what is the use of that data, what are the different features of that data, what is the important data in that, what exactly predictions I need to do, what exactly analysis I need to do. So it should not be the incorrect analysis, something that means the problem has came to the data scientist is different and he's working on something different, and after 3 months we realize that whatever he has done has gone waste, it's non useful. So understanding that data and asking the right question is very important part of the data scientist. So that is the one thing. Then comes to the data munging and data processing operations. So in this one, there are the majorly two things are there in the data processing. In the data processing, whatever the data we are collecting, so once you collect all the data, you have to process, you have to do some operations on that data, that you need to clean that data. Lots of missing values will be there. The data will not be in the structured format, the data will be some records which is duplicate, data which contains something miscellaneous values. So suppose there are the 50% of the points age is not present, or 50% of points salary is not present. So you need to apply some logic, you need to apply some algorithms to find the missing data, and do that all the wrangling and everything, and fill that data and make it clear understandable data. Okay, so this part comes under the yeah, some questions are coming, Bhojay. If you have any question you can ping it. So once you do this data wrangling and all these things, you have to put some machine learning algorithms. So what exactly happens in the machine learning? We are going to depth of the machine learning in the next coming slides. Next 30 minutes, we are going to discuss the details of the machine learning. I hope you will really enjoy the machine learning. Means if you understand the today's session, just imagine that you can make a successful career in artificial intelligence. You can make the successful career in the data science and machine learning and AI. Okay, so machine learning is the set of algorithms are there. So what is that algorithms? There are the two types of algorithms. One is the existing algorithms created by some scientists, and algorithms which are going to be created by who are creating the new algorithms. So by using the problem statement, that is the new problem statement, they are just working on that problem statement and finding the new ways. Or you have the existing like linear regression, logistic regression, decision tree, random forest. N number of algorithms are there in the market available. Now nowadays people are saying we don't want the algorithms, we want the data. If we have the data, we will apply the algorithms. Guys, if you are raising your hand, you can ask your questions, you can ping your questions, you can directly unmute and you can ask your questions. Okay, yeah, so these machine learning algorithms are getting means that whatever the data we have, we apply the machine learning algorithms to solve the problem. For example, you have some data. I will give you one basic example. Just take the sentiment analysis only. So suppose you have the 10 lakh records, 10 lakh records where 5 lakh records are the positive records, 5 lakh records are the negative records. Okay, so that 10 lakh records which are the contain some positive records, means positive sentences, like I like this product, I don't like this product is very bad, this product is very good, something like that. So on the label against that, that is this is the positive, this is negative, so like that. So this labels, this data, you need to pass to the machine learning algorithms. So what you will do in the machine learning, suppose if you take the linear regression or logistic regression to do some classification, so do some binary classification. So binary means here you are doing only two classification, either positive or negative. You are not doing something different. You are not doing is it cat or dog, right? You are doing only two classification, either it is a positive or it is a negative, right? So you will take this data and you will pass this data to the machine learning model, and you will tell to the machine learning model, see boss, take this data, this is that what 10 lakh records, take this data, understand yourself, learn yourself. Next time I will pass you one new record which I have not shown you previously. Now you will tell me that what is that record, is it positive or negative? Simple statement. I am telling you the simple straightforward machine learning definition, exactly what is happening in machine learning. Please tell me if you have any doubts here. What we did, we have the 10 lakh records. Each record has some label, is either it is positive or negative. You took that data, you tell to the machine that this is the data, this is the first row, yeah, this is good product, positive, and the label is positive. This is bad product, label is negative. You pass this whole data to the machine. What is mean by machine? One algorithm. What is mean by algorithm? Some program. Just imagine some program is there. Some program is, just imagine some kid is there, one small kid is sitting there, and you are training to that kid. You are passing this whole data to that kid and telling that if this record comes then it is positive, this record comes then it is negative. Okay, next time after 10 lakh records, when I will ask you 10 lakh one record, at that time it's your responsibility to tell me correctly, is it positive or negative? I have trained you 10 lakh times. Okay, I have trained you, I have trained this machine learning model for 10 lakh times. If I train to my kid for 10 times, 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, 3 plus 2 is equal to 5, 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Next time he will give me correct results after 10, 20. Now I had trained you for the 10 lakh times. Now it's your responsibility to tell me correctly what is the next value. That is the just machine learning. That is the machine learning. Means you are taking the data, you are taking the historical data, sending it to the model, training that model. That model's responsibility to take all the data, understand that data, and tell that what will be the next value, what will be the next upcoming records. This theory part is explained well. I am able to understand. Thanks, Nishant. Yeah. So that we saw that what is the data scientist means, what is skills, okay, all these things. So let's see. Means now we are going toward the machine learning. Now just imagine that when machine learning was not there, machine learning was not there. How exactly we was working? So when machine learning was not there at that time, there was the rule-based mechanism. Still, people are using the rule-based mechanism. It's not outdated, something like that. Still, all the companies are using the rule-based mechanism. What happens in the rule-based mechanism? In the rule-based mechanism, suppose your boss gives you one example, one problem statement. What is the problem statement? That you have some emails, list of emails are there, and that mails contain something 1 lakh emails are there. Okay, your boss gives you 1 lakh emails and told you that find out that which email out of that is spam email and which email is not a spam email. Okay, you have to find that is it spam email or not. So what exactly you will do? Suppose if you don't have machine learning, if you're data science, you don't have anything, you're just a normal employee of the IT company or anywhere, and your boss gives you one problem statement. Now you will write some rules. What is the custom rules? You will write custom rules. What the email has? Email has the subject, email has the body, email has the sender, email has the receiver, the different parameters. Email has the signature and all these things, all these parameters, right? So you will take one by one all email. You will take the first email, you will check what is the subject. Is that subject contains something free, then it can be spam. It contains something, the free credit card or something, some types of words. So you will write the conditions, you will write the if and else loops, right? You will write if and else loop for each and every email. If my email contains this word, then it is spam. It is not contained, then it is not spam. So like that, you will write the conditions. So what you did here, you write the conditions. So analyze the rules. You write this, analyze the root, write some rule. If rule pass, you give some decision. Else, if rule fails, you give something different. You write another rule. So like that, you are writing the thousands of lakhs of rules. Now imagine that you have 1 lakh emails. Boss has given you 1 lakh email, and out of that 1 lakh email, you need to find that which email is spam and which email is not spam. Okay, so you are started to write the rules. How many rules you will write? You can write 10 rules, you can write 20 rules, you can write 100 rules. You cannot write the 1 lakh rules, 10 lakh rules. And even if you write, if you put the 100 people's team, even if you write, it will not work properly. Some of the conditions will pass, some of the conditions will fail, some of the conditions will pass, some of the conditions will fail. So it is not problem which you can solve with the rule based mechanism. You will require something where machine will automatically create his own rules when we are showing the data to him, right? So let's see what exactly happens in the machine learning. So take one example here. So here is one car is there. Okay. In this car, in this car, there are the different objects are there. Like there is the bonnet is there, wheel is there, front this bonnet part is there, some front glasses is there. Now, what is your role? That your manager asks you that this is the one image, this is one image. Now you define me one model which will tell me this is the car. Okay, it's not the manual activity, you have to do it automatically. Okay, with the help of machine learning. So what exactly we do in the machine learning? We extract, suppose this is the one image we have. Okay, so we extract the features, means where when your boss will give or your client company will give you the data, they will not give you the just this is the car, this is the car. They will tell that what are the different features are there on the car. So they will give something table structure data. They will give something a table structure data. There are the different rows are there with the different columns. So each column will contain something like that. Is that object has bonnet? Yes or no? What is the width of the bonnet? Width bonnet, something like 10 centimeter. Yeah, if there is the width of the glass, what is the left glass? Is the left glass is present or not? The right glass is there or not? Or there is the steering is there or not? And finally it is car, it is car or not. So it is true or false. Okay, so something this type of data company will give you. They will not just give that image. Even if they give the images, you need to apply some algorithms to find the different objects from that images, and you have to create this data. So that is the role of again data scientist, finding that, converting it to the number format, and then passing it to the machine learning model. So here you have this record. This is the first record for the first car. This is the second. There is second car. There is third car. So like that, you have the 1 lakh cars. Okay, for each car you have one table structure, and each contains some records. So and at the end there is the it is car or not, true false, true false, true false. So like that you have this data, right? Now what we do in the machine learning, that we pass this data to the machine learning model. It extract the features. You extracted all these features, then do the training classifier. You classify this data, is it car or not. So when you have 1 lakh records, when you have 1 lakh records, you are telling to the machine learning model that if this type of entry comes, the bonnet is there, width is this much, the height is this much, so I'm putting some random number. So all these parameters are there, then it is yes, it is true, it is car. If there is bonnet is not there, width is one or something different, so at that time it is not the car. Okay, so like that you are training, you are telling to the machine learning model that you are training to this program. So there is some ready-made program. So that program, that if this type of data comes, if this type of row comes, then yes, it is true, it is car. If this type of data comes, then it is not car. If another type of data comes, it is car, it is not car. So the way we train to the kid, a 2 years or 5 years or 7 years of kid, when you train to the kid that 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, 5 plus 5 is equal to 10, like that you train it for 10, 20, 30 times. You will not train for whole life. But it may be possible that after 2 years also that kid is doing some mistakes. When you are asking him some complex problem, like some complex multiplication, at that time he's doing the mistake. It's not like that kid is perfect. Kid is giving the 100% accurate results. In the same way, machines are also not perfect. So you are training here to the machine. You are training here with the 1 lakh records with the different rows. After that, you are telling to the machine, yeah, this type of data comes, it is true, else it is false, right? And after training with the 1 lakh records, after training with 1 lakh records, you will pass one new 1,000 emails. You will pass one new 1,000 emails, and you will tell that take these 1,000 images and tell me that how much of that are car and how much of that are bullet, or how much are that not car. So true or false. So your machine learning model's responsibility is to take these 1,000 images, extract all these features once again, and tell to the model output that is it car or not. Means what we did, we are just mimicking the human brain. What we are doing in the human brain, the same thing we are doing it here in machine learning. We are training to the machine learning model with this different records and telling is it true or false. Next time when I will pass the new record which you have not seen previously, you have to tell it correctly. So this is the machine learning. Now let's see, there are the two things in machine learning. So feature extraction. So there are the two types of feature extraction we can say. One is the high level of feature extraction and one is the low level of feature extraction. So what is the high level of feature extraction and what is the low level of feature extraction? In high level of feature extraction, if you see in this diagram, we have extracted the feature, but if you see the eyes, we have extracted very low features here. We have extracted very low features as compared to in this one. Here we have extracted more features. If you see the mouth, here we have extracted the low features. Here we have extracted the higher features. If you see the tie, here we have extracted the low features. We have extracted the higher features here. If you see the hair, so the number of features from this image we have extracted is different. Okay, so here if you extracted the 10 features, if you extracted this is the 10 features, but in another problem statement you have extracted the 100 features. Okay, so why we are doing this difference? Suppose if we are extracting the 10 features or 100 features. Now this is the difference between the machine learning and the deep learning. The extracting this lower feature and higher feature, this is nothing but the difference between the machine learning and deep learning. In the deep learning, we extract the more features of this object. In in deep learning, we extract the more features. Why we extract the more features? Because suppose if you have given very simple problem statement that you have to just find the positive and negative sentences. In that positive negative sentences, you don't require so much of the feature extraction or anything, right? Just you have to do something like positive and negative extractions. But if you have the 10 different objects, if you have given the car, if you have given the buffalo, if you have given the bicycle, if you have given the plane, all these things, and now you have asked that extract the exact object it is it car, is it buffalo, is it animal, is it plane, is it two-wheeler, four-wheeler, exactly what it is. At that time you will require to go in the depth of the different features. You will require to go in the small features. There can be possible that there is one truck which is looking very similar to the car. It is 100% possible. Even when you are extracting the difference between the dog and cat, you will see lots of dogs are looking very similar to cat. Even person also means we are human also cannot understand the difference between is it the cat or dog. So at that time it is required to go in the depth of the features. So when you are extracting the very lower features, that we call the deep learning. So if you have to extract the more features to solve that problem statement, then we call it as a deep learning. In machine learning, means if you have seen this type of diagram previously anywhere in history, this we call the neural network diagram. So here something input get is there, some input data we pass, we have some hidden layer and some output layer. Okay, so here in this input gate, we take this data. So this is the bonnet. So we pass bonnet here. If we this is the wheel, we pass the wheel here. This is the side glass. We pass the side glass here. So like that, we pass all these features, and in the hidden layer, we check that what are the features are there. If these features are matching, then yes, it is car. If these features are not matching, it is not car. So if there is only one hidden layer, then we call it as a machine learning model. If there is more than one hidden layer, then we call a deep learning model. We'll not go in the depth of that hidden layers and all these things. I know that these are the very detailed concepts and you will require the detailed concentration on that. So we'll next time when we'll go in the depth of the neural network and everything, at that time we can go in the depth of the deep learning. So here we are talking about the extracting the high level of features and low level of features. So if you see the traditional machine learning, we are extracting the features, but we are extracting very high level of features. We are extracting the bonnet size, we are extracting the wheels, we are extracting the what is the front glass width and the steering and width of steering, the side glass and all these things. But in the deep learning, we are extracting the some low level of features, mid level of features and high level of features. So we are extracting the more and more feature. We are going to depth of this logo also. We are going the inside depth of this wheel as well. What are the different parts there? We are going the width, the difference between this height of this ground level and the bottom part of this car. So we are extracting these features in the deep learning, and on the basis of that you will tell exactly what object is it is. The difference between this is that machine learning will give you the accuracy, and it is totally depend on the data problem statement exactly what you are solving. Deep learning also will give you the accuracy. It also depends on the data, what problem you are solving. But deep learning will give you the better accuracy if you have the good amount of data. If you have lacks of records, at that time deep learning will give you much more better accuracy. And deep learning in current situation is the market leader who is changing whole world. The artificial neural network which is getting behind the screen of the deep learning, so that is the changing whole world. So if you are extracting these lots of small features, on the basis of that, when you are taking the decisions, you are getting very good results. You are getting very good results. And it is required. Suppose just imagine that you are developing Google automatic car. And in Google automatic car, is it sufficient to go with machine learning models? At all, no, right? Because when your car is driving on the road, at that time there are the thousands of different objects in front of that car. The the camera on top of that car is taking all direction pictures and sending that pictures to the machine learning or deep learning model. That deep learning model is extracting all the features there, is checking that what exactly that object it is, what exactly that image it is it car, is it stone, it is road, it is the signal, is that red signal is the red, it is green, it is blue, what exactly what is the person in front of me, or it is just image of that person, it is board holding. So n number of features you need to extract on that from the image. Is it means that is not possible in the just traditional machine learning. So you will require the deep learning, that and it need to be taken the decision in the seconds, few seconds, milliseconds, that what I need to do I need to go ahead or stop my car. So that car is taking continuously footages of all the directions and passing it to the machine learning model, and that machine learning model is giving that deep learning, sorry, not machine learning, deep learning models, because there are more than 6 7 layers are there. The layers which I shown you in the machine learning, there is only one layer. In the deep learning of the deep mind and this Facebook mind and all these things, where they are extracting the face detection and all these things, they have more than 8 and 9 layers on their models. Okay, so you can imagine how much complex it is. It is very complex model. So when you are working on these types of models, at that time you require the deep learning. It's not like that means only in that type of problem. Lots of, even means we are working when we have the more amount of data, like lakhs of crores of data. At that time we require to go for the deep learning. Now when we should go for deep learning and when we should go for the traditional machine learning? Suppose if your mom told you, go to nearest one grocery shop and take some food, and that grocery shop is just 200 meters away from your home. So what you will do? How you will go? Will you go by walk? Will you go by bicycle? Will you go by plane? Will you go by two wheeler? Or we will go by car? Definitely we'll prefer by just going by walking, because it is walking distance 200 meters. Or max to max you will go by bicycle. Not more than, you will not use the car majorly. But you can go with the car also. It's not problem. But it is unnecessary efforts. You cannot go by plane. People will say mad. 200 meters. Who will go by plane? There will not be plane also. But if you go by car, it is madness. Because if you can solve your problem by just by walking, then why you should go for the deep learning? If you can solve your problem by machine learning, simple algorithms, why you should go for deep learning? No, right? You will just simply solve this with the simple, because machine learning is bit more simple. You have just few lines of code, you have to just pass the data, you will get the output in just 10 15 20 30 lines of code. You don't require to write thousands of lines of code. Yeah, the data processing, other things will require there, but machine learning code which is required to do some predictions will be very less, right? But in deep learning you will require the detail model, you will require the detail architecture, you will require the different hidden layers, you require to do lots of work in the deep learning to work to get the good results, right? Guys, anyone has any question till now? I hope you understand the machine learning, you understand the deep learning at the theoretical part. I'm not saying the practical, miss that practical is very difficult, miss very different. It's very detailed concepts. You will require the miss months to understand all the concepts. So anyone has any question miss in this one, or you understand, just give me some confirmation that in the chat message that you understand, you are enjoying these things, you are enjoying, you are understanding the machine learning. Thanks Raju, thanks Nishant, thanks Pratisha. Other guys, there are more than 100 people are there. Thanks Vikram, thanks. Yeah, so if you have any questions till now, you can unmute yourself. Good, nice to see all people are understanding these things, guys, because the machine learning, these data science fields are going to be useful in all the industry, as I told you. So if you are thinking that after 2 years I will start my career, or after 6 months I will start my career, don't do this one. Just start learning machine learning, just start learning data science. In future, all the companies are going to be heavily dependent on these fields. There will not be any field in the market, there will not be any company in the market who will not use the data science and machine learning. All the companies are going to put, means they are already putting from last 2 3 years. It's already booming. There is huge demand in this field, and lots of means even if we are working on this field, we are working on developing this product, we know that the way the smartness is coming in these systems. People, the way they was working previously and the way they are working right now is huge difference is there. The repetitive task, I will tell you one example. We are working for one Singapore client, and that client there was some 150 branches they have throughout the globe, and their task was that, means they was getting every day some emails from to their customer support, and the customer support was giving some approval to the products or some purchase items. So that taking that approval was very repetitive activities, means there was fixed list of conditions, but there was near about 170 managers who was sitting there and taking all the decisions. Do we need to approve or reject? But when they collect all the data from the historical of last 15 20 years, they saw that lots of things they can automate, and they put means we work on their model to automate the things, and we automated the most of the things. That means whatever the decisions managers are taking, and out of that 170 managers, only the 25 managers are working right now. Rest of the managers has shifted to the different departments, and they are doing some smart work. Whatever the work they are doing, they was continuously doing the repetitive. They was frustrated. Managers were also frustrated. They were saying that how much days we will do that. Someday system will change. Someday automation will come, and that automation came. We applied machine learning models, data science models, and whatever the decisions they are taking, now the system is taking automatic approval and disapproval, and 98% accuracy is there. Just for 2% they have saved the 25 people and reduce that much strength on that efforts, that work. So you can imagine that even managers work is also under the pressure, but they are getting the different work and new opportunities to work. Yes, she's asking that how much coding is needed. Yes, very less coding is required in this field. Because of that, people from the different domain, non-technical people are coming in this field. If you see, if you ask me how much code I write for the any machine learning model, I will tell you just 15 or 20 lines of code for the machine learning. Rest of the code we will require sometimes when we are doing the data processing and all these things. But that is very simple. The Python is very simple. It is so a simple language. If you just understand the syntax of the Python, you will start to love the Python language. Yes, she is asking 1 minute. Let me just go to your question. Yes. Yeah, coding. I explained that one. I am a BBA. Can I? Yeah, people from the BBA, MBA, all lots of people from the marketing background are preferring this field of the data science, machine learning. As I mechanical background, more lots of people from mechanical and electrical and civil, these backgrounds are coming because this scope in this domain, and the mechanical people can put lots of things in the coding part, so they are joining in this one. How much of the data is considered as good for training? This is the very crucial question, Dhruva, that every data scientist has. It totally depends on the problem statement you are solving. Suppose if your problem statement is very simple, that your boss gives you that you need to find the sentiment analysis in between positive and negative, some 10,000 records is enough for you. But if your boss told you to find the difference between the 10 objects, that the what is this object, even 10 crores records also will be less for you. So it totally depends on the problem statement you are working for and what exactly you need to achieve. Those I am from the electrical background. I was able to understand your slide nicely. Thanks, Nishant. What is the minimum eligibility? Minimum eligibility is not there. Means if you are from the non-technical background, as I told you, that you can make the career in this field. Only the eligibility is that your passion, your wish to make a successful career in the data science, your wish to learn the programming, your wish to start something or do something in the field of the uh, artificial intelligence and data science. I will. You can see that there are the thousands of people who are from the chemical background. Now they are running the companies. Person can do anything. So don't think about some criteria is there or some eligibility is there. Break your eligibilities. Break your limitations. Whatever the limitations you have, break that. There is no any limitation. If you are from the 12th pass out, also you can do things. I will show you examples. When I was working for Tech Mahindra, one person was there who was done the just I think miss BA, and he was working totally on the programming side just in 5 6 years. Means I was just also surprising that I was thinking that only people from the engineering background and all these will can make the career in this field. There is no any such restriction. If you have the wish, you can change your life. But just the thing is that you need to be continuous. You need to be passionate. You need to work continuously. You don't need to don't leave it until unless you do not success. Give hundred of interviews. You will fail thousands of times. Don't fail. Every failure is one success. So there is no any criteria. Don't think about any criteria that I'm from this background and I'm from non-technical, or I'm from technical, or I'm doing operation work, or I'm doing this work. How can I make this career? We have transformed the career of thousands of 10,000s of people in this field from the non-technical to technical. Right. Okay, so R language. No, R language is not required. There are very few companies who are going with the R language. Most of the companies are going with the Python. Very dedicated companies who are working from for R for a long time, they are working. But 90 more than 90% you will see the Python. Is statistics required more than programming? No, statistics is required, but whatever the required statistics is there, basic statistics that you can learn in few days, 15 20 days you can learn the statistics, whatever they required. There is not miss. Even I have not done lots of study of the statistics. Very required parameters of the statistics I have gone through. I went to purchase the new laptop for the learning, so please suggest minimum budget. Lord, sorry, laptop budget. You can go with the any i7 processor. It will be good with the GPU, miss 10 generation GPU. So something like that that will help you. Latest generation GPU go. Don't go with the older GPU because it gives some problem in the advanced problems, advanced programs when you are doing. But 1050 is also sufficient till the that you can use. But you will get the means in minimum configuration also. Google Colab is there, which providing the free of cost cloud computing, where you can do all your coding. You do not require even any software to install. You can do it on online also. How is the demand for the freshers, and many companies asking for prior professional experience? For freshers, there is demand is there for Python machine learning, because companies are means lots of companies do not go directly with the experienced people also. So they also have lots of openings. Means if you have the good knowledge of the fundamental concepts of the machine learning, all these things, demand is there for fresher. Lots of freshers are joining there. Is there any sample data set available for? There are thousands of lakhs of data sets are available on the Kaggle, data.government.in, or data.government UK. So lots of sites are there. You can just search on Google. You will get lots of data sets. So just search for kaggle.com, or some you can take some problem statement and ask data set for that. You will get. Bhoje, what is the different between the data engineering and the data scientist and the data analyst? Yeah, Bhoje. So these are the means actually. See, some of the companies invest the separate data engineer who has the specific role. That some data engineers are just collecting the data, working on the data, and passing that data to the data analyst team. That analyst team is doing some operations on that data, like performing some calculation and all these things, and then passing the final process data to the data scientist. And the data scientist role is to apply some machine learning algorithms on the top of that. But most of the companies, you will nowadays you will see that people are hiring for data scientists, and they are telling that you have to do the role of the data engineer also, data analyst also. Very few companies will have the separate role. When the company is very big and very huge amount of data they have, at that time they goes for the different role of the this one. But more lots of companies are nowadays are going with the data scientist role. Means they can do all the activities from the collecting the data till processing and giving some predictions. All these things are data scientists are doing. So team of the 10-15 people of the data scientists are working there. In that, some data scientists, analysts, engineers are there. So that is there. Which is asking that I'm 40 years old from the accounting background. Can I? Yes, definitely. Accounting background people are joining, because the way the banking industry and all these industries are changing, uh, the number of data they are collecting and processing that data and handling the way of work is a totally different nowadays. So people from the accounting finance department also joining. Can life science students study this? Definitely life science students also study this. Miss as I told that there is no any criteria, there is no any limitation. So there is no any point to tell that means only people from the IT background or something can make the career. There is no any such thing. From where should I learn the deep learning? Yeah, I will suggest you that where should I learn something. Thanks for information till now. I need the advice on what is the scope and thing. I am assistant director manager at the Wipro, which is the management level position in HR backend office. I'm Six Sigma certified. 12 years of experience. Yeah, good experience you have. So Swapnil, I will suggest you if you go for if you want to learn the machine learning, data science, lots of channels are there. And if you want to miss, actually at management level, the the main difference with the data science is making is that when you already have the 10 years of 15 plus 20 plus years of experience, when adding this knowledge of the data science, machine learning, it's changing the way you are looking towards the data. It's changing the way you are looking towards the problem statements. When your junior managers or your employees are coming to you with the different problem statements, you will understand exactly how much different thought you can put in front of them with the help of data science knowledge. So you are adding one extra layer of knowledge on top of your existing experience. So the way this whole data is flowing near you, the way you are processing that data, means the companies are processing that data, how you can adapt that knowledge of data science and put on your data, that will give you some wonderful decisions to your management, and can change lots of processes, lots of flows. You will understand, you will automatically understand the what new things we can do with the help of data science. There are so many sample data sets internet. Should I go for Kaggle? Yeah, you can go for Kaggle. There are lots of other sites you can go for. Could you please share the link where I can learn the basics? Yeah, definitely I will share you. So guys, if you want to, if you are interested in machine learning, making the career in this field, Inside AML, which is a dedicated platform for the training on these all these things. If you go to the insideaml.com, here you can see that it is a dedicated platform, and here we have the different courses. So there are the basically three major courses we have. So one is the machine learning with Python statistics, second is the data science master program, and third is the master in artificial intelligence in collaboration with IBM. So if you want to make the career in this one, that we are providing in this course 100% job guarantee we are providing. Plus this is one of the famous course as of now we have. So just I will give you the brief idea that what we are covering. So give me 1 second. So till the time, let's cover some of the more questions from the list. Sir, companies asking 40 years. No, there is no any limitation that companies asking for any experience. Some companies will ask the experience, some companies will not ask the experience. So it's totally depend on the miss what exactly jobs you are going for. Sir, I have a laptop. Yeah, you can go with the 2 GB laptop also. How to start the beginners come in this field? Beginners also can make the career in this field, because I told that lots of companies are preferring freshers, and even if they don't have the experience, they are preferring the freshers because of the is a demand they have in the market. I have 10 plus years of sales and marketing. Definitely, you can go. I am new in this field. Placement guarantee. We are providing the placement guarantee in one of the course, because we have the dedicated HR and the more than 150 plus connections we have in the market. So we are providing the placement in that companies